is JJ Solomon.
This Prograis Bradshaw, Mr. RTBA. Mr. These boys can't touch me on my worst day. And this is the Spit Bucket Podcast.
It's your boy, Mr. RTBA, Mr. 214, Senor Dos, 14, Senor Dos, 14, Mr. Undeniable, Mr. D Boy can't touch me on my worst day, right here with my dog, my brother from another, my partner in crime, Mr. JJ Solomon. What's poppin', my guy?
What's up, Mr. IOTBA? How you doing tonight, Corey?
Man, doing great. This is the Spit Bucket Podcast, episode number 51, my guy.
51.
51.
Hell yeah, you're getting better at that, bro. You're going to be like Canelo's jumping the language barrier, homie. But, Al Money's in. What's up with it, brother?
Al Money, what's popping, my guy? Shout out to everybody who on the live stream right now. If y'all could, please like, comment, share. Tell us what y'all think about this video and all that good stuff.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, just do what he said. Can't go wrong if you do what he said. Sorry, I was a little distracted over here. But yeah, man, episode 51, Tuesday night, fucking fight week. Bro, 2023 is going to end with a bang. We're going to be here covering it all, man. All kinds of stuff. But right off the bat, well, obviously, we just had Ryan. Then we got Devin and Regis. Then we got Bam and Son. It just goes on and on. Anyway, it's a hell of a way to finish off the year, bro. But, yeah, we just got back. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely excited, about the end of the year. Ready to see these two big fights that's coming up with Devin and Regis and Bam and the guy from across the pond. You understand me? Yeah, and in your way, I'm ready to see all of that. Because all of these fights, they actually make super sense because you got Bam and Sonny, they fighting for unification, right? And then you got Devin and Regis, right? Devin moving up his first fight to 140. This is a championship fight. This is a huge fight. And then
anyway.
Yeah, anyway.
It's the reason we ain't done our golden buckets yet.
Yeah, and anyway, he has a chance to put on a performance that could also not only make him the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world, but it could also possibly lead to him being the fighter of the year.
Hell yeah, dog. Like, we got to see that. I mean, we saw what he did with Fulton. Obviously, Crawford put his name on the ballot for fighter of the year. How do you deny that? So, listen, we only got a few weeks left, but there's still a lot of questions to be answered in 2023. And hopefully that shit leads right in 2024. Hey, before we talk boxing, Corey, we ain't talking about this. Al Money's just talking about tapped in watching the in-season tournament. What do you think about the in-season tournament, bro? We ain't hit on that much.
Oh, yeah, I love the in-season tournament in basketball because, usually at the beginning of the season, they try to work the guys in. It's too many people don't pay attention to it. That's why people be frustrated at the beginning of the year because you don't see all the superstar players in the games. And with them bringing this in-season tournament in, I think it make it more exciting and they give these guys something to play for. Plus, it's a cash incentive for the team whoever wins. So I love the in-season tournament. We needed something to shake up basketball to make these guys go extra hard at the beginning of the season, to keep the fans in tune. So shout out to Adam Silver and the rest of the NBA staff for implementing that into the NBA.
Yeah, I like the idea of an in-season tournament. I just wish they'd have done it a little bit differently, because it's like, I just wish it had been done differently. I feel like it should have been one event, like a week-long event. Like, can you imagine, bro? Like, what makes March Madness so crazy? Them brackets. Imagine throwing every team in there, single elimination. We taking a week, going to Vegas, whatever. You know what I mean? Maybe shorten the season, 4 games, 3-4 games to justify it. I just feel like that would have created more of a buzz. Like, same trophy, Maybe name it the Kobe Trophy or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Same trophy, same prizes, same money. But I just wish it would have been like, let's sit down, let's get ready for this in-season tournament, man. I think something like that would have got some better buzz. But
I get it. You know, I mean, it's their first year. I get that,
yeah,
but I think I like the way they spread the games out. Right? I think I like that because teams know that you got to play hard. You got to win this game. I wish it was something that they could implement throughout the whole season and just that instead of making it just the early season thing. But with this being its first year, like you said, it's going to be a lot of kinks. You know, they're going to have to put WD-40 on, you know, to implement it in a way, you know, that it works. So it's the first year, but in my opinion, so far so good. I like what I'm seeing. That's why I got to give Adam Silver and the rest of the NBA staff credit for implementing it.
for sure, for sure. Al Money said Devin versus Regis is going to be a good one, and we about to dive into that. But first, man, let's take a step backwards and talk about. We're not going to cover the whole card, but we're going to talk about Ryan and Duarte, the fight from the weekend that we had the opportunity to be at. A lot of buzz leading into the fight for all the wrong reasons. You know, Ryan beefing with Golden Boy and all that good stuff. But man, Corey, like, what do you think driving home? Like, what do you think about the event as a whole, before, leading up, the fight, all of it? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I liked all of it leading up to the fight. Even the controversy, you know, with Ryan Garcia, you know, the statements he made. You know, people may have liked it, they may have didn't like it. Statements Bernard made, Oscar made, people may liked it. They didn't like it, but one thing about it, it created a buzz that got us in tune for that fight because Ryan Garcia is a guy who has a lot of publicity around him.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when he fights, you know, everybody gonna pay attention. And I think this moment that they had leading up to the fight, I think it put extra emphasis on not only the diehard boxing fans' mind, but a lot of the casual fans as well. But as the fight played out, I loved it. Right? I got to give Ryan Garcia his credit. You know, he won the fight. He stayed in the pocket. You know, it was some things that, you know, he need to work on still. Obviously, we know that. But one thing about it, you know, he stayed in the pocket. It looked like his mid to long range game with him using his jab. He was staying disciplined. People, you know, people on media row like myself and the club, we was like, why is Ryan moving that much? But credit to Ron for being able to move around that ring and fight at the same time and keep his durability up. Also, shout out to Oscar Duarte. You know, he came in there and put on a good performance, right? You know, I think the referee, you know, it was a little injustice with the ref, you know, early in the fight, but that's neither here or there. I thought also with the ref, you know, with him getting up at the count of 9, you know, in the biggest moment of his career that he should have had the opportunity, but that's neither here or there. I think Ryan Garcia would have still won that fight after the way we seen the way he hurt Duarte real hard, you know, and had him doing the chicken dance. And I think, you know, Ryan Garcia would have been like a pit bull ready to attack when Duarte got up, especially with
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, I didn't mind the stoppage at all, but no, dog, like facts. I mean, I remember seeing all that. The ref kept stepping in and stepping in and stepping in, and the one maybe two times he stepped in for Ryan, it's almost like he was doing it because he started hearing the boo birds. Um, but yeah, man, like I'll piggyback off what you said, and it was a hell of a lead up. It had the buzz. The city was talking. It's almost like we didn't discuss much about the Red Owl event, but there was another DAZN card the night before, star-studded event, lots of big names out there, and Shakur, Shane Moses. I mean, it was a lot of people. Sean Porter,
Jay Prince,
yeah, Jay Prince walked
Sean
in, yeah,
Porter, Calvin Ford,
yeah, and
Kenny
shit.
Ellis. It was a lot.
Yeah, you could just keep going. But the point I'm trying to make is the vibes in the city were popping for boxing, and that's big thanks to Golden Boy and then Ryan Garcia. You know, the event itself was great. We saw some prospects making a name for themselves. We saw a prospect, in my opinion, elevate himself to contender. because I'm sitting here thinking about what we're going to do with these awards this year. Prospect of the year, we're not going to give the same award 2 times in a year, 2 years in a row. And in my opinion, I'm not saying this because Kid Austin is close to the show, but Kid Austin's a contender now. Kid Austin can fight for one of them belts, and he's right there in WBA, and I'm sure he's going to be top 10 in all the other sanctioning bodies. Anyway, I'm going off on a limb. The Ryan Garcia fight, yeah, the dude got the W. He went through some adversity. I haven't watched the telecast back yet, so I don't know what the commentators were scoring it, but a lot of us had that very close. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I may have had Duarte up 4-3. 4-3.
3-2.
It was 8 when I knocked it, wasn't it?
I think it was 3-2. 4-3, 3-2, one of them.
Something like that. I remember there was a point in that fight where I had Duarte up by a round from our perspective, from what I was seeing. But here's the thing, Corey, I'll ask you this. I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I've seen some changes in Ryan's game," and like that awkward ass shoulder roll, man, that ended up getting Duarte in some trouble because he kept hitting him behind the back. A shoulder roll looked terrible. My question to you is: if this was the first time you've ever seen Ryan Garcia, would you be impressed with his skills, man? If it was the first time you ever see him, don't think about any of the changes he made. If that was the product you saw,
yeah, absolutely, because. Just because he was doing a shoulder roll and then it didn't look nice to the eye, the guy was actually still in that fight, unlike a guy I know like Shakur Stevenson, because in that fight Shakur Stevenson had, if that's the first time you ever seen him, you'll never want to fight him again. What Ryan did, he went in there and finished the fight. You understand me? So absolutely, if you see a guy do that, and then you also see him, have success, then you see him finish the fight, absolutely. I would want to watch him fight again.
Against Oscar Duarte, I seen Paulie Malignaggi make a video this week, said Shakur's opponent is 50 times better than Duarte. And Ryan made Duarte look like a ready game opponent. And maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But he gave Ryan a hell of a lot to handle. Ryan was on the bicycle a lot in the beginning of that fight. And he had to stop and throw because he wouldn't have been able to continue that pace for 12 rounds. But look, I'm not doing this to be extra critical, Ryan. I'm just calling it like I see it right now at 140. I mean, what's there for him where you think you can confidently win? Rolly?
Yeah, I could see him winning that fight. I could see him beating the Shakur if Shakur move up. Because
Let's talk about who's at 140.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, the one thing about it that you can't deny, this guy has power. Right, and don't say let's talk about it 140. When Ryan Garcia, when Shakur, like what they call him, Shakur Twitterson, was on Twitter talking about, or on the video saying, "Oh, we could fight, we could talk about that. We have to talk about what way we have to do it at." So, yeah, absolutely, man. I don't think this was disappointing to the eye. I just think
no, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't disappointing to the eye. I just think if guys are just fed up with the nonsense that Ryan Garcia did in the past, which is one of myself, but I'm going to still judge him correctly off what I seen. Was he in there with a guy who was game? Absolutely. Yeah, Paulie Malignaggi, he can say what he want, right? But Paulie Malignaggi has, it's a bunch of videos we can get and clip of him where he done reached and said a lot of things, and he came back to be absolutely wrong. But like I said, I was impressed by Ryan Garcia. That was a good way to come back against a great opponent for him after just getting stopped by Tank.
Yeah, that's true. And it's a bounce back fight, so you don't want to throw him in there with the Wolves. It's just certain things, dog. I hate saying this without sounding like a stuck-up asshole, but like as a boxing purist, little things I see, like I don't like to see fighters closing their eyes. What something I love about Mayweather, and this is why you could never catch him, is his eyes were always open. Ryan takes it a whole nother level, and not only does he not keep his eyes on his opponent, he gets in his shell. I'm not talking about the roll. I'm talking about that amateur looking shell that Derek or somebody needs to fix, because he turns his back on the opponent and he goes in the shell. He did it with Tank so many times, and he did it last weekend. The shoulder roll, I don't think we need to talk about it. He made fun of himself. He said Derek said not to do that anymore. That shit was ridiculous. Big picture, though, yeah, he got some confidence back. I did see the jab. I seen a little bit more movement in his head, a little bit better defense. So hey, things are pointing up. I still want to see a lot from Ryan, but salute to the guy. He's been through a shit ton. He's been through hell and back, and we're pulling for the guy. I want to see him get to where he needs to get, man. Um, any follow up on Ryan?
I'm just, my thing is these guys got to get in the ring and they got to show who they are. And I think Ryan Garcia got in that ring and he showed that he was there to fight. Unlike some other fighters that we can name. So that's why I got to give Ryan Garcia his credit. For actually going in there and fight, actually going in there and entertaining us. Yeah, you're supposed to be cautious of defense, but you supposed to go in there and entertain to make people want to watch you. And I think he did that, especially with the knockout. So I'm with you. I want to see his next fight and what he's gonna do. Can't say I'm rooting for the guy or not rooting for the guy. My thing is we just seen a path with this guy. If it ain't one thing, it's another. I want to see if Ryan Garcia going to be able to stay focused and continue this path. I don't want to see Ryan Garcia after a couple of more months whining and then talking about, oh, his relationship wasn't working with his trainer and he have to move on. I just hope he done settled in and not make himself the problem anymore.
And just real quick, did you see the very next day he runs to Twitter saying, I wish the DAZN broadcasters were as nice to me as ESPN is nice to their fighters. And again, grown ass man saying people are being mean to me. Like, come on, Ryan. Like, I just want to see you fight. And if you're gonna talk on social media, talk, but stop pointing fingers, stop complaining, stop sounding like a victim, man. I'm saying that like I'll be telling right here next to me. What do you mean you wish they were nicer to you?
Yeah, and I
What
wish
do
you
you
had that
mean?
same. I wish you had that same energy for Shakur, because this is the most crybabyest fighter in boxing right now. You sit up here and talk about Ryan Garcia and the things he say. What about Shakur
What we talking
Stevenson?
about, Ryan?
No, I understand that, but this the energy. We have to keep that same energy, JJ. It's like you disregarding Ryan Garcia. Well, you're not disregarding, you're attacking Ryan Garcia and him being
It wasn't an attack.
yeah, it is. It is because you're saying he's doing this and doing that. But when it comes to Shakur Stevenson, let's give him one more fight. What about all the Twitter things that he say and he do? This guy does it the most.
Shakur got 3 belts. Ryan quit in the ring. 2 different situations.
It's not a
Shakur
different
ain't blaming nobody for his loss. Shakur not blaming nobody for his bad performance. He don't have a loss. What you mean?
No, he didn't lose, but he came out and made a bunch of excuses of
I
why
only heard
he
one.
didn't perform. No, we heard JJ, it was a lot. It was a lot, and that's my thing. Ryan Garcia, who okay, he lost one fight, right?
I'm not hating on that. I'm saying he quit.
But he lost one fight. You could say he quit if you want to. Can we say with Tank power? And I could say that too. But if we're gonna really talk about it, can we say Tank got power like that?
What was I complaining about? I said he lost, then he whined. Then he got touched a little bit this last weekend. Then he whined. This time not his promoters. This time the broadcasting company that's putting out his fights. So it's always somebody he's pointing the fingers at. Always. And that's all. That's all I'm saying. That's
he lost one fight, JJ.
And then he whined.
One. But Shakur Stevenson, it's been many fights where he just bombed the whole place out, and he whined about it too. So I'm like, if we're gonna keep that energy with Ryan is the lost one fight, and he's a top contender. You keep saying Shakur done been in 3-weight divisions. Okay, congratulations, Shakur Stevenson. But Ryan Garcia is a guy who just had lost one fight, and he lost to arguably the best fighter in that division. Right? So, I just feel like we need to keep that same energy on Shakur Stevenson as we do Ryan Garcia. I think that's very unfair, the attack on Ryan Garcia.
Now you sound like Ryan Garcia.
No, it's not. No, I want to keep it 100 across the board because I'm a guy who's very critical of Ryan Garcia. I was very critical of him and saying he started the whole mess with De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins. I just feel like everybody want to give Shakur Stevenson a pass, and Ryan Garcia gets all the smoke, you know, because he this and that. But one thing I can say, Ryan Garcia came in there and fought, and that was entertaining.
Agreed. One more before we change topics. Our money. I seen y'all outside putting that work in. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Couldn't even get a drink in. It's hard to get in a drink. And a good comeback win for Ryan. Yeah, we definitely agree with that. All right, bro. Change it up a little bit. We had some breaking news today. Again, before we get to Haney and Regis, let's talk a little bit about women's boxing.
I want you to lead it off to him because I know that you disagree with it.
What's that?
I want you to tell us. I want you to lead off because I know you disagree with.
Well, at first, I want to hear your opinion.
No, I want to hear yours.
Okay. Now you go first. All right. So today, the 1A and 1B for me as far as Lady Goat, you know, AmandaSerrano, she vacates her WBC title. Why, you might ask? Because Mauricio Suleiman is still not budging on giving women 3-minute rounds and 12 rounds in title fights. I'm not going to read this whole thing. She says, I'm the first undisputed female champ. She says she's given her whole life to the sport. No boxing, no phones. She don't have a phone, dog. But long story short, the WBC has refused to evolve the sport for equality, so I am relinquishing their title. Thank you for sanctioned bodies who've evolved equality. And, you know, I'm not going to read it all, but it's there. You guys go to her social media, you see it. Most Valuable Promotions also followed up with the belt doesn't make a champ, the champion makes the belt. So listen, man, I'm gonna be real careful with this, all right? Because I've got my opinions on this, and you know, we live in a touchy world where you can't express your opinions without being accused of being something, right? Women's boxing. Like we've been talking about women's boxing before people really were talking about women's boxing. And I have a lot of respect for the ladies. But I'll just get straight to the point. As of right now, December 5th, 2023, I'm against 12 3-minute rounds. I'm against 3-minute rounds. And before anybody tries to call me a woman hater or whatever you want to call me, it's nothing like that. I promise. It has nothing to do with the ability for a woman to do what a man does, right? But just hear me out here, all right? We always say amateur boxing is completely different than professional boxing. And a big reason for that is 3 1-minute rounds. You almost have to have a completely different strategy. You got to attack. Score. Women's boxing is also a completely different sport than men's boxing for this almost the same reason, or that's one of the reasons. Those 2-minute rounds, bro, those 60 seconds less give a woman way less time to set up a knockout, to set up her punches, to set up a game plan. I get all that. So these women have been training for a certain style of boxing their whole lives. There's that part of it that kind of goes to where I'm going. Women's boxing is blowing up right now, more than ever. But the biggest problem I see in women's boxing is the level of competition. You have your Clarissa Shields and Katie Taylor and Michaela Mayer and AmandaSerrano. You have that batch of women. But it's a very small batch. And we see them all the time outclassing the hell out of their opponents, right? We really do. There's a big separation in talent. All 3-minute rounds is going to do is make that gap even bigger. Because, yeah, that list of women, that elite list of women that we see right now with all the straps, those women can do it. No doubt in my mind. They can do it easily and make it look good. My question is, those women that already look bad, not bad, but already struggle to go 10-minute 2-minute rounds, those women are going to look even worse. Women's boxing doesn't need anything to pull them back because they are hauling ass. They are doing well right now. So my thought process is, why do that now? That should be the end game, but there's still not enough competition. All this is going to do is widen that gap of competition, and ultimately it's going to result in less viewers, and it's going to result in less money in their pocket. That's the only reason I'm against it. It's going to make the elite even more elite, and it's going to make this average below average. And that's all I feel for it. And I hope people understand that. I'm not trying to spit on women or nothing like that. It's that level of competition in the sport today. What are your thoughts, dog?
I understand what you're saying, but I disagree 100%. I think it's all about equality. right? Shout out to AmandaSerrano, right? For stepping up, right? And I love and appreciate uh, her for doing that, being a strong woman,
Fact.
sticking her chest out, and telling Mauricio Suleiman and everybody else setting a precedence to show that it needs to be equality, right? My thing about the 2 minute rounds, it sucks. It sucks to see them women going up for 2 minute rounds because when the fight start getting good, like it ain't even good, right? It sucks, right? Let's be honest, right? Listen, the competition in women's boxing is building up, right? It is. That's
Fact.
something that we can't deny is building up. And with the growth of a sport, you want to be able to grow it just like the other sport is growing, right? You hear a lot of women screaming for equal rights, right? And they want the opportunity because just think about it, right? With an extra 3 minute round, with an extra minute of a round, you could have fighters out here to show that they really like that, and they gonna be able to finish a lot more fighters. The reason why women boxing isn't escalating like that because we don't see as many finishes as it needs to be like we see in the man's sport, right? Women aren't able to get these finishes because they're not able to have the full time frame to be able to break their fighters down. It's like as soon as the fight start getting good, ding. So, like I stated, much respect, much love to AmandaSerrano for stepping up, going against the grain, setting a precedence, and screaming for equal rights with women in boxing, especially when boxing is flowing. And this is the one thing I love about her. Because like you say, it's 1A and 1B. Her Clarissa Shields. Either way people want to put it. If you got Clarissa Shields as the GOAT, if you got AmandaSerrano as the GOAT. This is what's great about it. She knows she one of the best, if not the best, out of two fighters. And she didn't run from it. She ran to it as being the best. And she know that it was going to make headwaves. I love and appreciate her for that, for standing up for women equal rights. This boxing is not for the South. These women ain't coming into the ring, to play patty cake or, play, do jumping jacks. They coming into the ring because they like to fight. So let's give them their respect and just do to able to get them 3 minutes because we say women boxing needs to be a little bit more exciting. And with that extra minute, I think it'll make it more exciting.
Listen, I feel all that. You're saying all the right things. And that's why it's difficult to say. That's why I haven't tweeted about it because when you tweet, it's just words. You don't get to express yourself. I want people to know I'm not coming from a place of, women don't deserve to get the same stage. I'm talking about in a place of pure, how this thing looks and the growth of the sport. When we talk about the WNBA, and they talk about not getting paid enough, same thing with women's soccer and all that. But specifically, let's stick with WNBA. It's because the quality on the court is just not what it needs to be. So before we even things out, like Ray, when we go call amateur tournaments, the percentage of little girls fighting in that ring is what? Maybe 10%. We need to get these. We need to see more little girls starting at that age and growing in the sport, not starting when they're 20 and then having to learn a whole new sport. And by the time they're 30, they're doing it needs to start sooner like it does for the dudes. And I feel until we do that, then we can expand it like this. When I saw Franchon Cruz, when she lost her belt against Katie Taylor, dude, she was dying them last 3-4 rounds. Great. A championship women's fight is 20 minutes. If they get if we did 12 3-minute rounds, that's 36 minutes. That's almost twice the fight, dog. Almost twice the time. So I feel like we have to grow. Not just because we see AmandaSerrano and all these women that are badasses, they can do it, but they need the sport to catch up to them because they're on a whole different level. And that's all I'm saying. The sport needs to catch up to those elite ladies. And then when we're there, then we can close that gap up. That's what I'm saying. And it's not, like I said, it's not from an ugly place.
Yeah, no, I know it's not coming from an ugly place. It's just the sport have caught up. You know, you can't compare women boxing to the
You
WNBA
can't.
because the flourish
Oh,
that women boxing is having is in a huge, it's a huge difference between the WNBA. You know, WNBA just can't get it together. Women boxing can, and with women boxing, we think it's just a couple of fighters. No, it's not. It's a
I didn't
lot
say
of. No, I'm saying it's people think it's just a couple of women fighters, right? No, it's not. It's a lot of women fighters who got big names who are out here fighting. Women boxing is on a different level now, and to say, you know, we don't want to see women do this or want to see them fight this long. That's what AmandaSerrano talking about. It's no equality. It's like people still want to hold the shackles on these women and not let them flourish to the next level like the dudes are doing, especially since boxing is in a high, going in a high volume for women fighters. So uh, I agree 100% with AmandaSerrano. I think, you know, women need equality. I think this is an equal world we live in. Can men and women do everything equal? No, because you know it's women. It's a lot of men who could pick up stuff, uh, you know, heavier things more than women can. But it's a lot of women who could do other stuff that man can't. But when in boxing, it's imano, and the women that's getting in there, they fighting. So I think it's a little pushy to try to stop women from having the same equality as men do all around the circle, and that will go even. I would say that even if it was man and they were trying to get the same equality. So I think it's a little pushy to try to hold the women back. I think AmandaSerrano set a precedence, and I think they need to uphold that precedence.
look, obviously, I want to see women grow. It's great for everybody. It's great for them. It's great for young ladies who want to get into the sport. I'm all about it. I just think if we do that now and rush to that because women's boxing has had a couple of good years in a row, I think we need to keep stringing those good years together. I think if we do it right now, again, that competition gap is way too spread out right now, man. I mean, again, when we see them in the ring together, obviously those girls, those elite girls, they put on great fights. We've seen it. We gave it Fight of the Year last year, AmandaSerrano. But what was I going to say? I was going to say one more thing before we let off, before we change the subject. I think I may have forgot. But I just want, I'm a huge, huge fan of AmandaSerrano. I really am. What she's done with her team, how selfless she is, how she's bringing her whole squad up with her. I love what AmandaSerrano is doing. I just think this might be the wrong move for boxing financially, for women's boxing financially. If I'm wrong, I'll be the first to come on here and say, hey, dog, last year I don't know what the hell I was talking about. These girls are killing it. So salute to all of them ladies. I'm a big fan of all of them. And yeah, man. Let's check the chat real quick. What's up, Quentin Bradley saying IOTBA and Mr. JJ? Good seeing you,
Mr.
Q.
Q, Mr. Q, what's popping?
What's up, fellas? Man, we appreciate y'all tuning in. All right, Corey. Well, let's jump right on in, dog, to what we excited for.
Do our
Huh?
sponsors real quick before we get to this
Oh, yeah,
last
my
one.
bad. Let's hit the sponsor.
Elite Sportswear.
All right, listen up, guys. We're calling all Little League coaches. We're calling all middle school coaches, calling all high school coaches. We're calling out all those team mamas. If you need team uniforms, if you need jerseys, accessories, whatever gear you're looking for the team, please check out our friends over at Elite Sportswear. These guys do it all, and they do it great. So if you're needing a brand new look for the younger athletes, for the teams, do me a favor, trust us with Elite Sportswear. These guys do all of our gear here at Spit Bucket Podcast, hats, shirts, hoodies. We could not be more pleased with them. So check them out over at thebetteruniform.com. You can find them on Facebook at The Better Uniform or on Instagram, Elite Sportswear 17. That's Elite Sportswear 17 on Instagram. Again, if you want your team looking super fly on game days, do yourself a favor, do the squad a favor. Call Roderick and the team over to Elite Sportswear ASAP. Let them know the Spit Bucket Podcast sent you.
Y'all check out thebetteruniform.com. Homies over at Elite Sportswear, man. They know what they're doing. You know what? I need to clip out some pictures of the actual work that they've been doing lately. The winter gear. Whew. Oh, so
Man, hey, if people ain't checking out Elite Sportswear, man, I'm letting everybody know here from the 214 to across the pond. They are the best in the business. So I
yeah,
need
if you look,
everybody
yeah. Go ahead, my bad, Corey.
to make sure y'all go check out Elite Sportswear. They are simply the best. Hold up. Better than all the rest.
Absolutely, dog. If you love your high school, tell them what high school you went to, what high school you want to represent. Y'all just got to check it out, or your college, obviously. My little peon brain is just talking about high school. All right, man. Let's get to the main event. The main event this weekend. Devin Haney, Regis Prograis. Devin moving on up. They're in the Bay Area, bro. The Eagles have landed. Let's talk about it. Corey, Mr. 214.
Oh, absolutely, man. I've been looking forward
Hell yeah.
to this fight for months. Like, just to end off the year with a fight like this, Jay. Right, you got Devin Haney, former undisputed at 135. He ain't coming up to the 140-pound division, ducking no smoke. He coming up fighting the guy who everybody say is the hardest hitting 140 in the game right now, right? And I absolutely love it, bro. Only thing I don't love about it is that they put this on pay-per-view. I think having this on a regular DAZN, that would have helped grow the sport even more. That's neither here or there. I didn't voice my concerns about that, during this whole press conference. But one thing I'm ready for is this fight right here. And Jay say, I don't know who gonna win this fight right here. And I'm being honest with you, right? Because it's like, I know they got Devin Haney the favorite, right? But it's easy to be the favorite until you get caught by that big punch. And one thing we have seen Regis do, we have seen him catch people 29-0, 25 knockouts. That dude has power in that left hand, right? And I know Regis didn't put on the best performance in his last fight. A lot of people, not myself, I had Devin Haney winning, but majority of the world said Haney lost to Lomachenko. And the energy that Haney got, by hearing all of that, when I actually thought he won the fight, I could just understand the motivation. The subpar performance that Regis Prograis had in this last fight, the motivation for that, I can understand how he feeling right now. And both of these guys having something to prove out of people thinking Haney lost. I didn't. I thought he won. People say Regis put on a subpar performance. JJ, this Saturday night, this is going to be a barn burner right here.
Yeah, dog. I've expressed my opinions of how we got to this fight and why we got to this fight. But like you just said, that's neither here nor there. I've expressed my opinions about it. It's fight week, and we have Devin Haney moving up to 140 pounds, brand new weight division, after he destroyed the man who beat the man 2 times in his own backyard. Fighting for a belt against a very dangerous guy, like you just said, like the world's saying. I think this fight has gotten more intriguing. They've done a hell of a job selling this fight, by the way. I think you asked a lot of casuals, hey, what do you think about Regis? 12 months ago, a lot of people wouldn't have a whole lot to say about Regis. He was kind of under the radar great. But people are excited about this fight. Even me getting closer, it's starting to happen where I'm starting to think that margin is going to be a little bit closer. However, dog, I just think, like I've stressed before, Devin Haney's been doing this his whole life. He's been getting ready for this moment his whole life. And in boxing, you can always tell the guy who's been doing it better. I'm just talking about pure skill set. I'm not talking about heart or nothing like that. And I just think that's going to take over in this fight. There's not a whole lot that I can see Regis doing, bro, besides landing that shot. I think Regis will get in, which will be, in my opinion, his real only chance. And I think we're going to see some clinching from Devin. Which shit, I'm not mad at it. Whatever you got to do to get the W. I just think Devin's smarts are going to be way too much. And I predict Devin winning this fight, unanimous decision. I think it's going to be an easy fight to score. Now, I hope I'm wrong. Regis is one of them type of dudes who's been doubted his whole life. hell, he's Hurricane Katrina. You know that's. I mean, he's a survivor. The dude knows how to prove people wrong. The dude knows how to use that negative energy and turn it into something positive. And for that, I salute Regis. And and for that, you know, the little boxing fan that likes to see upsets and stuff, you know, that side of me is cheering for Regis. But this part of my boxing knowledge is making me pick Devin Haney as a heavy favorite, bro. I can't wait to see it because there's gonna be a lot of questions answered after now, dude. You know what I mean? Whole lot of shit. What do you think about Haney's appearance? This shit look Photoshop, bro.
Oh, he looked good, but I ain't surprised. Haney always looked like that. But I have this fight very close. That's why I can't go either or, right? Because I done seen Devin Haney get caught in his chin. I done seen this guy get hit flush, even in the Lomachenko fight. Like I done seen this guy get hit hard. So, and credit to him, that's because he in there fighting. But one thing people are underestimating about Regis Prograis is his power, right? Um, I look at it like this. I understand Devin started earlier. But like Regis say, we both right here right now. Regis is a two-time champion. So the one thing I respect about him, he lost his belt, which I don't think he lost that fight. But then he showed the heart because, see, it's not easy to become a champion, but if you good, you're going to become a champion. But when you lose that belt, and then you're able to keep your mind to stay focused at the goal at hand and able to come back and regain it. And then you know that you had a subpar performance, and you know that Devin Haney and them feel like you are the easiest dog to walk at 140. That's a lot of motivation that
Fact.
Regis got. And I think this fight is an even fight, right? It depends on how it play because like Devin Haney finna face some firepower, just like Regis is finna see the skill level of Devin Haney. And I think them two things could offset each other. That's why it's hard for me to pick a winner. I think this fight is even kill.
See, and I just see Regis looking for that one shot the whole fight. And we know when there's a fighter who does that, look for that one shot, and you do that against a guy who can really box. I just think that makes for a boring stylistic fight and an easy fight to score. All you're gonna be doing is swinging and missing, or getting held. There's a chance we see an explosive fight, but I will not be surprised at all if we see a snoozer. I would not be surprised if we see Regis swinging for the fences and Devin clinching when they're close. I don't anticipate Loma versus Haney at all. I don't think because that was a hell of a fight. I don't care how you scored it, hell of a fight. I don't anticipate that whatsoever. Partly because Regis got them loaded ass hands, man, and Devin knows it. But big picture though, dog, Devin's got his eyes at 147. Saw what they saw about Barrios, and so in my opinion, like if you're getting ready for 147, uh, they're confident that they could walk through 140. So
And
I
that's and see that's the thing that I got the question because you never like and this is why I got to give Bill Haney, his criticism at. You never talk about another fight or that a fight that you're pursuing when you're going in here to fight for a championship. That's total disrespect, and that's something that could come back and bite you. In my Forrest Gump voice, and when people say that Regis hasn't seen a style like Devin Haney, that's false. He fought Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor was a boxer. He could punch and he could move around that ring. Not saying that him and Devin Haney fight the same, but he was a guy who was at the heights of his career when he was on point 100%. And a lot of people thought Regis Prograis won that fight. So I don't want the world out here to think that Regis don't know how to set traps or that he don't know how to fight a boxer. And like I say, I don't know who's gonna win this fight. That's why I have it even queued because I know that Regis could do all what he said he did. Go back and look at the Josh Taylor fight, and then people will see what I'm talking about. But hey, Jay, I'm excited about this fight. Like you said, the build up to it. These guys, they on fire. I'm talking about they smoking. They smoking it out from the 214 across the pond just by seeing Regis on interviews, hearing Devin Haney, seeing the face-offs. What we seen today, this week, what's going to happen. The dude named Evan, Bill Haney going at it. Man, I can't wait.
Bro, it's gonna be a hell of an event. It's gonna be a great finish for boxing. I've made my prediction. Let's hear yours. You keep saying tight fight. Let's hear it. Who do you think's gonna win it?
I can't call it. I think it's an even fight. You know, Devin Haney moving up to 140. Yes, he got all the skills, but he going up to 140 to a dude who been a natural 140 his entire life, and to a dude who arguably could still be undefeated. A dude who have fought different styles like that, but Devin Haney is special. You know, Regis going up against a guy who's athletically gifted in every area, you know, from the north to the south to the east to the west. They say this fight is even. This is a fight I couldn't put no money on, or I can't make no pick, because I know both of these fighters are that good, and Regis could hurt him and finish him, and Devin Haney could outbox him and beat him on the cards. So it's tough to say.
Well, we will be done talking about it this weekend. And like I said, man, so many questions answered. You know, there's so many names now. 140, it's the new 135, and a lot of avenues, a lot of different routes these guys can go. So many fights to talk about, so many fights to see. So, look, I'm hoping for a good fight. Deep down inside, I'm hoping I'm wrong. It's what we love about this sport. Just when you think you know it all, they're going to surprise the shit out of you. So I hope we get to come on here next week and say, wow.
Yeah, that's the beauty. And that's what I love about it. Like,
hell yeah.
Like, bro, like nobody is 100% accurate in picking fights. Don't you know we love when we see the upset? Like when Tyson Fury beat Klitschko. That was a huge thing. That shook up the world because the Klitschko brothers have been dominant and had the belts for that long. Like, you like to see a shakeup. You like to see the unthinkable that you didn't think was going to happen happen. So I love it.
Unlike a lot of people, bro, like I'm telling you, if I'm wrong on here, because I hardly ever come out and put my neck out like that. Let's be honest. I'm always like, well, it's going to be a close fight and I don't really know. I put my neck out on this one. But again, you guys will see that if it goes, if I'm completely wrong, like we just said, that's what we love about the sport. We get to see Regis digging deep, the whole world treating him like the challenger, like he's the one stepping up to a fight. And if he comes out and shuts me up and all his critics, bro, I'll be cheering him on for life. But yeah, shout out. Our money says I'm picking Devin to win, but like Mr. 214 said, it's too close to bet my money. And we will see. Hey, our money, if I'm right, though, we'll get on here and we'll do a little celebrating. Say, I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. But all right, Corey, if you don't have anything else, dog, I'm good. We're going to wrapping it up. It's almost 10 o'clock.
Yeah, man. Salute to everybody on here from the 214 across the pond. If you ain't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. Shout out to the playback game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all take it easy, man. Corey, you have a good night. Give the fan a big hug, and we will see you guys soon. Holla at you.
This is JJ Solomon.
This Prograis out, Mr. RTBA. Mr. These boys can't touch me on my worst day. This is the Spit Bucket Podcast.